Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to start a short YouTube series. I don't know if I'll continue it forever, but basically, I'm 7 weeks out from a show in Hong Kong. I live in Shenzhen, China, on the border with Hong Kong. And I want to kind of just do a little video journaling, I suppose. Not really vlogging, but video diarying. Yeah, about these 7 weeks. And why? Well, I guess these contest preps are kind of special. And it's kind of cool to like immortalize it in a video and audio format and sort of have something concrete to look back at in terms of where I was mentally and like physically. It's kind of fun. Like just looking back to the pictures I have from a year ago when I was cutting, but not for a show. Like it's kind of it's interesting. It's cool, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I look like that. That's amazing. And these like deep, hard cuts, these times in your life when you're really focused on one singular thing and you've really tuned out distractions and you have this goal you're reaching toward, these are very special and very satisfying times. They aren't necessarily happy times, no, but they are very satisfying times. There's a big difference between something being very pleasurable and being very rewarding. And contest prep is very rewarding, but it can be very actively displeasurable, if that's a word. It can be quite kind of painful sometimes, but I still think it's worth journaling about, sort of in a way. And so, if an audience happens to find this interesting or informative, then that's great. But this is largely just my own project for myself. Now, speaking of myself, for any viewers, who am I and why is this like ethnically ambiguous brown guy around all these Asians talking about shows in Hong Kong? I realize it's a little unusual, yeah. So I've been in mainland China for 10 years, and Shenzhen is my fourth city. I've been moving around a lot. I work as an economics and mathematics teacher in international high schools, a job which I realize is very incongruent with bodybuilding. Not a lot of bodybuilders do this. Not a lot of international school teachers do very physical things. And this is perhaps even more pronounced in China, where anybody who does compete does some sort of career related to fitness or bodybuilding. I've met exactly one exception in my previous city in Zhuhai in Hangzhou. Girl around 27, 28 years old in bikini, but worked for the government, local government. And she's cool. But anyway, how did this young man, not so young man, I'm 36, come to China? Well, basically, from ages like 24 to 26, I kind of had a quarter life slash existential crisis. At that point, I had just finished a master's degree in economics and mathematical finance. And then I'd worked for a while doing some analysis related to mortgage backed securities and found it deeply dissatisfying. And so then for a while, I had a dream to become a professor of finance. And so I started a PhD program, got about 1 year in, and I was performing okay, not great, but not badly either, and just got very disillusioned with the idea of academia and kind of living for 5 or 6 years in this both physical and mental isolation where you're working on these sort of arcane and obscure problems that are irrelevant to everyday people, and you're only interacting with people in this very specific niche. Yeah, because finance programs and finance PhD programs are typically 5 years, but oftentimes can go longer than that. So I quit that, and as a graduate student, I had been a teacher, teaching assistant, and sole instructor sometimes, and I really enjoyed that. So I looked for high school economics teaching jobs and accidentally found them in China. Uh, there's a lot more to say about that, but I kind of want to do like a 10 years in China anniversary video where I talk about the full story. So I'll just cut it off with a short version right now because anybody who clicked this video probably doesn't care. They want to hear more about bodybuilding and fitness and training, all that kind of stuff anyway, right? So, shows in China, they're a little different. We don't do like a local show and then a pro qualifier, at least in the Southeast Asia slash Guangdong Federation. It's more like they combine the two together, where every local show generally will also have a pro qualifier sort of attached to it. at the same time. And generally, the person who wins the overall in the local show automatically qualifies for that same day's pro qualifier. I'm not really worried about pro qualifiers. I don't think I'm really at that level yet. So for me, I'll just be doing the local show, but I guess it's possible that I end up winning the overall. And if that happens, then sure, I would go ahead and do the pro qualifier. But that's not really important to me right now. I really just want to get shredded glutes this time. That's all I want to do this time. I've never really been able to get there. I've gotten lean before, but not quite shredded glutes lean yet. So I might be dropping down quite low. Now, I started this prep at 101 kilograms, 101.x, and right now, at the time of recording, I'm about 87. And I still think I got a good 4 to go, down to 83, before I'm really as lean as I actually want to be on show day. My actual stage weight might end up being a little higher than that, more like 85, 86 filled out, but we'll see. I'm, again, not so concerned with the weight as I am with having the hard glutes and hamstrings and really coming in impressive conditioning this time. So, what is my approach as far as training and dieting? And yes, there are PEDs in place. It's perhaps quite obvious, or hopefully obvious, that I am not a natural competitor. Um, Training. I do 4 days a week right now, upper lower. And as you can see by the title of the video, this is an upper workout. Now, I do it slightly differently, where I will do 2 sets of biceps and triceps on all 4 training days, where the biceps and triceps will come last on the upper day, and they'll be first on the lower day. And then delts, I don't know. I've been oscillating between doing them all 4 days and only doing them on upper days. It probably doesn't really matter all that much in either case. Um, yeah, so I like to start these workouts with pull-ups and generally prioritize the back work first. Although the numbers you can see here are not very impressive from my pressing motions, that's largely due to rapid weight loss. I've been dieting already for 17 weeks and I've got 7 left to go, and I've dropped 14 kilograms. So, of course, my pressing motions don't look strong, but in terms of the body part visually, my sort of chest, delts, and triceps are quite a strong body part. So, kind of putting them second to the pulling motions makes a lot of sense in my case. And as you can see, I'm very strong in pull-ups, but I'm also quite light. I did 24 today with straps, neutral grip pull-ups without too much bouncing. And that felt pretty good. My PR is 25. And yeah, I might actually stop emphasizing pull-ups so much and maybe do more machine work, because obviously they are quite difficult to stabilize, and that might be limiting how much stimulus I'm able to deliver to the lats and upper back muscles. And I think they're also a little bit maybe more arm dominant than something like a good plate loaded high row machine or a pull down, for instance. But I'll make those sorts of adjustments as I go into off season. Right now in contest prep, I'm going to kind of stay with the way I've been doing things and make the adjustments afterward. So, yeah, diet, right, of course. I tend to follow a higher carb, moderate protein, very low fat diet. And that's both for off season and for pre contest or for cutting. This just tends to work the best for me. I tried a keto diet once in 2022. Complete disaster. Fats are more calorie dense per gram, and they are stored more easily as body fat. Getting them to be stored as muscle glycogen is also a metabolically expensive process. Although there is genetic variation with this, some people do have that conversion of dietary fat to glycogen, very effective for their bodies. But for me, it's not very good. So, yeah, that's the approach I'm taking with diet. For my cardio, I'm doing something very new school and very controversial. Steps only. I do no intense cardio. I go outside and I walk and I count my steps with my phone on WeChat. And right now, since 8 weeks out, I've been at 20,000, where I will remain until we're about 10 days out, when we'll cut back and start the peaking process and filling out. Sorry, did I say 10,000? I meant to say 20,000. I don't know if I said that correctly. I'm sorry, but 20,000. I tapered that up from a starting point of about 10 to 11,000. I just moved recently here to Shenzhen. I was in Hangqin, a very small city that used to be part of Zhuhai and is right next to the Macau border. I could literally walk from my home to Macau back there, but it was also a very small place with 30,000 people, 30,000 permanent residents. But obviously, you got a lot of people coming in from Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai throughout the day, and yeah, moving has sort of disrupted me. I ended up taking a week off training. I still ate smart, but I did regain a little bit of weight and kind of lost a little bit of fitness from the process of moving. But I've been all settled in for about 14 days now and back on program, so that's good. And here we are, continuing with the upper lower split, getting back into the swing of things. So, geez, what else? I'm 36 years old. This is a master show, like I said before. I think I probably don't look 36, and I probably sound like I'm 50. My voice sounds very aged, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm got those vampire genetics. You know, they say steroids are going to age you. Hasn't been the case in my experience, at least for me and my genetics. Okay, so last up here, I'm doing a little posing practice. I try to do a little posing practice after every upper day and sometimes after lower days. Um, I wasn't super happy with how I hit the side chest in this round, so I went back and did it again, but just a little later. Judging just from my upper body, I look very ahead of schedule for 7 weeks out. But if you could see my full body, no, my lower body's still carrying quite a bit of fat. I have a short up on this channel of me in a posing room at another gym here in Shenzhen, where you can definitely see my lower body is considerably softer than my upper body. And that's just my fat storage patterns, you know, it is what it is. I'll do some sort of video going over the check-ins and a little bit more in the nitty-gritty of the process that I've been using as far as this whole contest prep and all that. And it'll have more like a formal check-in photos as opposed to cool lighting upper body photos with a pump in the gym. So here's the side tricep. This was more satisfactory. I like the way I hit it here. I'm not going to show you the way I was hitting it, which was not very good. All right, guys. So if anybody managed to make it to the end of this video, congratulations, first of all. I'd really appreciate a subscription and a like, and a comment, even better. That'd be fantastic. If not, that's cool too. All right. Thank you very much. Expect a lower workout and then a sort of check-in style video a little later. Talk to you soon.